Hey, how are you guys? Good.
Who wants to ask the first question?
They're like, nah, we've been asking this guy questions way too long. We're good.
So you talked a little bit about the heart behind the album and where the inspiration came from. And your album, it's helped people at different times. Like we talked about what music, whose music is helping what artists do you listen to?
What artist do I? He asked what artists I listen to. I listen to lots of artists, unless I'm making a record, and then I don't listen to anybody because I'm scared I'm going to copy something. So I try not to listen to anything then. Over the years, I've loved hip hop my whole life, so I'm keeping up with that. There's a lot of artists I love in hip hop today that speak so eloquently and write such poetic lyrics that are culturally relevant. And then I listen to some old school stuff. Lenny Kravitz, I love. I always say the four corners of my musical thing, going back to when I was a child, are Run DMC, Bob Marley, the Beastie Boys, and the Police. So if I live in that little thing right there, I'm good. That's where I want to live. Oh, and a fifth one is Hall & Oates. I love the soulful Philly sound of Hall & Oates. That's where I try to live musically, and that's a pretty big playing field.
I always appreciate how open you are talking about truth. What advice would you give to someone who maybe just lost someone close to them?
I mean, losses, everybody grieves differently. The only advice I would have is if you might question God's sovereignty, and I think you need to. I think you need to figure out that God gives and takes away, and you have to be okay with that. And once you're okay with that, I think your faith actually increases greatly. I found myself to be closer to God the last 3 years than I ever have in my life. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody, of course, but I had to figure out and really believe that God's sovereign, and I had to trust that, and then look for Him in the hard places, like really look, and He's there. That's the thing, He's there.
And so you won a lot of Dove Awards in the past. Tell me what this one means.
Yeah, I mean, winning this Dove for Life After Death is definitely the most special moment of my life at the Dove Awards. Yeah, how could it not be, right? I mean, you journey through this thing and you try not to just fold up the tent and walk. You know what I mean? So the fact that God met me and I had friends around me in this industry, anybody that ever tells you there's a lot of cutthroat slashiness in the CCM or gospel or worship or hip hop, I don't believe it. I've been here longer than all y'all. I think it's a beautiful family. Super grateful for them. Super grateful to the guys that came around me and walked with me through this, and the ladies. Yeah, I think it's the most meaningful ever, for sure. I will put this at the center of my piano in my house.
Songs or doing projects. I know it's now that people are releasing singles by themselves and then they collect them. How do you approach a project?
I beg my label to let me put singles out, but they say, no, Toby, people still actually buy your whole project, so they kind of make me do a whole project. I mean, I would love to I have 2 songs right now that I absolutely love and I think would be meaningful to culture right now. But I have to wait until the next record release, which will be probably 6 or 8 months from now. So it's just, we never used to be able to put songs out right when we finish them, but suddenly we can. So I would love to be able to do that. I think it's reacting to what culturally is going on, reacting to hard times, beautiful times, when culture comes together or when culture separates. Like, you know, the hard times of what we're facing, you can write a song about it and react to it, put pen to paper and act as an artist, write some poetry about it. I would love to be able to put them out faster, but right now I'm kind of locked in and grateful for Capitol Records because I've been with them my whole life and they've done an outstanding job, so I trust them. You're next, I promise. I can rap, but it's going to sound like I used to rap, not like they rap today. I mean, there are some rappers that rap like that, and, you know, J. Cole, Kendrick, I mean, those guys are undeniable with, you know, it can be explicit at times, but I mean, just the knowledge they're dropping and the poetic thoughts, it's mind-boggling. I lean toward that rather than some of the more completely current top 40 stuff. But I've always been like that. I like to try to bring words to culture and culture to words. Yes, good question. I definitely would like to do something with Tasha. I've flirted with it twice. I just didn't get all the way there. I just flirted. And then, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I think Lauren Daigle's voice is amazing, and you know, I don't know if she'd ever do anything with me, but that would be really dope. Because I mean, it's like soon as Tasha or Lauren, as soon as their vocal hits the speaker, it's just like